I'm making pop music, and I just want everyone to just accept that for what it is and take it as legitimacy. I've realized that like there's not really a lane for me, and I'm just like getting to carve it and draw it out. I'm not doing this because I want to kick the door open. I wish it was wide open for me. The number one piece of feedback I get when people listen to my music or see a music video is, I wasn't expecting that. And at first it was kind of offensive. Like, what do you mean you weren't expecting? What were you expecting? But now I do get kind of a kick out of it because, like I said, I've leaned into it, and now I'm just like, yeah, I know you were. And that's the point. And there's so many girls like me out here. Like, I'm the most basic girl you will ever meet. Just open your eyes, open your ears, and just get out of your box. Stop living in there.
You heard it here before, and if you haven't, it's about time you get familiar. This that Siena Liggins.
I think that, you know, at the end of the day, it's a music business. And it only works if the consumer or the customer is buying into it. And it's a lot harder for people to sell people today. Like, it's a lot harder to sell people stuff that they don't identify with or see themselves in and see it done in a genuine and honest way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For too long, culture has been built and stolen off of the work of Black people and queer people, honestly, for far too long, for it not to be an area or a space that we get to have an equal part or an equal opportunity to play within. And I think that is something that, coming from a Black person, is maybe hard to hear, but I am happy that there are a lot more white people, straight white men, people in these like gatekeeping positions who are realizing it and are willing to say it out loud, because it shouldn't be a taboo. The title of my album, Miss Out Tonight, was inspired by a girl that I was dating. Naturally, a lot of my songs are. But I started with this song. It was about a girl who, she just wasn't ready to be out with me. She was, you know, very much into me, but like kind of low-key about it. When we'd go out, she like didn't want to hold my hand, or if someone walked by, she'd get nervous. And I respected her boundaries. I respected, you know, what she was ready to do and what she was ready for, but I'm a songwriter, so I went back and I wrote about it, and I wrote this song about, initially it was just like a play on words of just like being out, but the more and more I thought about it, I was just thinking about how much of life you miss out on when you're not able to be your authentic self, whether that's your own self and fear holding you back, or if they're like outside constructs or pressures that prevent you from being yourself wholeheartedly and authentically. Either way, you end up missing out on, I think, your best self and the best that the world has to give you.
'Cause if you tell me leave it right there, I ain't going nowhere.
I never really felt like I couldn't be myself. I have one of those more like unique coming out stories of where everyone around me realized it before I did. And so when I finally did come out, it was definitely like earth-shattering for me, because I had this idea of who I was, and I also had this idea, I think, of what queer people were as a group. I was like, how can I fit into that? I guess I had friends who were queer, and I saw how hard life was for some of them in school, and with our friend groups and things like that, and I never experienced that, and so it never really clicked for me that like it was, you know, really just about my attraction to another person. And once I did realize it, it was pretty easy for me to just keep being myself. It kind of just became like another thing on the list of who I am.
So, nobody, you don't need to bring my keys, 'cause I can drive in the backseat. Nobody.
I wanted to start making songs just about girls that I liked, and as a way for me to not have to tell them plainly that I liked them. And that was my mission initially. And that's still my mission. That's still what I'm doing. But as it went on, the reality that I'm grappling with is so easy to grapple with when I know that there are people who have similar experiences to me, who say to me all the time, I don't see anybody like me. It's a lot easier when I get messages like one that I got like at 1:30 this morning from a fan who just told me, they're like, hey, I don't know if you're going to respond to this, but I just want you to know that it makes my entire day to see other sapphic artists making music like this. Like, I feel very seen. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for doing what you're doing. I love your music. That makes the reality it makes the reality worth it.